Pastor Rick McCallum at Z Mansion says food insecurity is always a barrier the homeless community faces. Now that new SNAP work requirements are in effect, he worries more people will turn to places like theirs for help in meeting that most basic need. Z Mansion has been feeding Tucson's homeless community every Sunday for 25 years. But in the last 6 months, Pastor Rick McCallum says the number of people they have to feed has exploded.
2 to 3 years ago, we fed 175 to 200 people on Sunday morning. We thought it was fairly busy. Now 350.
According to McCallum, that's because it's increasingly harder for homeless and lower income folks to access food. Once the government shutdown paused SNAP benefits for thousands of Arizonans, McCallum says people who weren't homeless started showing up at the door.
We have people drive up and come in for food because although they have a car and an apartment or a house, they can't afford food.
McCallum says that could become even more common now that stricter work requirements for the food assistance program are in effect. People experiencing homelessness were previously exempt from those rules, but under H.R. 1, homeless individuals will have to meet an 80 hours per month work requirement or risk losing SNAP benefits. McCallum worries that change will prevent homeless people from addressing other critical needs like shelter or job stability.
If you and I are just a little bit hungry, we can still function. But if you haven't eaten in a couple of days, and we see that all the time, you're not functional.
That's why people like Ella Wiegand volunteer at Z Mansion every weekend.
Food is like a basic human right. And the amount of people that don't receive it is just shocking.
She's one of dozens of volunteers who help provide a hot meal, clothing, medical assistance, and veterinary care to hundreds of unhoused people. McCallum says it's volunteers like her that keep the program operating and remind people to reach out and help those in need.
What would you do on your first night on the street? Where would you go? How would you protect yourself? Who would you turn to for help? And if you don't know the answers to those questions, then you don't know about homelessness.
Z Mansion is always in need of volunteers. McCallum says anyone is welcome to show up at 7:30 on Sunday morning and they'll put you to work. Reporting in studio, Peyton May, 13 News.